Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. The Supreme Court has granted bail to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal till the 1st of June, when India's general election ends. Under the terms, he should return to prison the next day. The leader of the Aam Aadmi Party was arrested in March over accusations that his party accepted bribes in exchange for contracts to sell liquor in Delhi. Both Kejriwal and his party have denied the charges. In the last hearing, the court said if he is freed on bail, he should not carry out his official duties. Kejriwal is expected to hit the party's campaign trail in Delhi, which has 7 seats in the federal parliament, where voting takes place later this month. His dramatic arrest by the financial crimes investigator, the Enforcement Directorate, came after he ignored several summons for questioning in the case. The Congress party leader, who is Prime Minister Narendra Modi challenger in Varanasi, offered prayers before presenting his nomination papers. Ajay Rai is the head of the party in Uttar Pradesh, a state in the Hindi heartland, and thought to be a stronghold of BJP. Prime Minister Modi is the incumbent lawmaker in the constituency. The contest in the seat will be closely watched because the candidate is the Prime Minister himself, and the constituency votes on the final day of polling in June, which marks the conclusion of what is regarded as the world's largest election. Congress party leader Rahul Gandhi surprised commuters in Hyderabad when he boarded a state-run city bus after addressing a rally in the city. Gandhi was accompanied by the state chief minister Revanth Reddy in the crowded bus. Reports said he interacted with passengers and discussed the free bus service launched by the government that is run by his Congress party. He also explained to them about what the Congress party plans to do for women, the youth, farmers and workers in general if it wins the mandate to run the federal government. The southern state of Telangana will vote on Monday to elect 17 lawmakers to parliament in the ongoing national election, which is spread across 6 weeks and concludes in June. In another unusual scene in the Indian election, a BJP candidate in Uttar Pradesh had to run to present his election papers as the deadline was just minutes away. Shashank Mani Tripathi ran for about 100 meters in Deoria city after an event he attended earlier caused the delay. The 54-year-old had just 15 minutes and the clock was ticking, forcing him to scramble. Later, he told news reporters who ran along with him that he was a runner in college and that probably helped him now. Tripathi belongs to a family of politicians. His father was a lawmaker in parliament and his grandfather was a member of the legislative council in the region. Iran has released 5 Indian sailors on board a container ship it seized nearly a month ago near the Strait of Hormuz. Reports said the Indian embassy in Tehran thanked the Iranians as it shared the details of the release. The Revolutionary Guards took control of the ship MSC Ares in April, and Iran immediately linked the vessel to Israel. At least 11 Indians are thought to remain in Iranian custody after a female sailor was released earlier. There were 17 Indians on board when it was taken by Iran. India's External Affairs Ministry had said earlier that the Indian nationals would be released after fulfilling their contract agreements and the paperwork that was required. Commercial shipping in the region has faced disruptions since the conflict broke out in the Gaza Strip. The famous Kedarnath temple in India's Uttarakhand state opened its doors for worship Friday. The annual event was marked by rituals and Vedic chants, and the temple will remain open for 6 months. The chief minister of the Himalayan state, Pushkar Singh Dhami, took part in the event, alongside thousands of devotees who descended on the site. The temple is one of the most revered in the country, which is dedicated to Hindu god Shiva, and it is visited by Hindus and tourists across the country. A visit to the temple is known as Char Dham pilgrimage. It is one of the most popular among Hindus in India. Besides Kedarnath, it is a tour of 3 holy sites in the region set in the scenic mountainous region. India's cricket authorities have indicated they are looking for a new coach for Team India as the contract of Rahul Dravid runs out in June. The Board of Control for Cricket in India said it will soon announce the hiring of a new head coach. Reports said the board's secretary Jay Shah said Dravid can also apply, but there is no automatic extension. Dravid has been in the role since November 20, 21, and his contract was extended at the conclusion of the ODI World Cup in 2023. BCCI did not say the new coach will be Indian or a foreigner, but it ruled out separate coaches for each format of the game as in other countries. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine has fired the head of his personal protection unit following the arrest of 2 senior officials on suspicion of plotting his assassination. Serhiy Rod has served as the president's bodyguard since 2019. His departure was announced in a presidential decree without giving an explanation. Reports said there was no evidence to link him to any assassination plot. The State Guard administration is responsible for the security of the president, other officials and their families. The two state guard colonels who were taken into custody on Tuesday are thought to be part of a network operated by Russia's FSB security agency. Zelensky has said he was Russia's number one target since the invasion of Ukraine 3 years ago. After a short sea trial, China's most advanced supercarrier has returned to port. The 80,000-ton warship known as the Fujian marks a turning point in China's military and naval capabilities. Reports said the Type 003 class carrier is the first to use electromagnetic catapults and an integrated propulsion system. The US is the only other country using the technology on its aircraft carriers. The Fujian will shortly start carrier-borne aircraft trials, which might take up to a year before the battleship is declared fully operational. China is working to improve its naval capabilities to project its power, especially in the Indo-Pacific area. Besides the US, which has the largest fleet of 11 carriers, the 8 others are China, Italy, the United Kingdom, India, Japan, France, Spain, and Russia. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said the country can fight on its own after the US warned it will stop arms shipments. The remarks were made just hours after the UN reported that over 80,000 Palestinians have left Rafah since Monday due to continuous shelling and Israeli tanks assembling near populated areas. It issued a warning that over 1 million people still seeking shelter in the city were running out of food and gasoline because supplies were not getting through the surrounding borders. US President Joe Biden has threatened to withhold some weapons, including artillery rounds, if Israel went ahead with a full-scale ground invasion of Rafah. It has already halted shipments of bombs to Israel. Arab leaders are also hosting talks in the region to bring about a truce in the conflict. The UK has emerged from recession after stronger than expected growth seen at the start of the year. According to official statistics, the GDP expanded by 0.6% between January and March, the quickest pace in the previous 2 years. After contracting for 2 consecutive 3-month periods, the UK entered a recession at the conclusion of the previous year. While Labour said that now was not the time for a victory lap, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak claimed that the economy had turned a corner. The Bank of England said on Thursday that while the UK was seeing a recovery, it was not a significant one. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt stated that today's growth figures are proof that the economy is returning to full health for the first time since the pandemic. Israeli singer Eden Golan has advanced to the Eurovision final after a popular vote. Her triumph came just hours after tens of thousands of people demonstrating in support of Palestinians hit the streets of Malmö, the Swedish city, hosting the contest. The 20-year-old vocalist also faced jeers during dress rehearsals the previous evening, followed by a mix of applause and jeers during Thursday's semi-final. In a statement later, Golan described herself as overwhelmed with emotions. She said it is truly such an honor to be there on stage, representing her country with pride. Slogans of Free Palestine were heard as smoke canisters colored like the Palestinian flag were set off in the city's major square. There was a tiny counter-protest by pro-Israel demonstrators as well, and police have been deployed outside the hotel where Golan is staying. With a revised set list, Taylor Swift has begun the European leg of her historic Eras tour in France. In order to feature music from her most recent album, The Tortured Poets Department, the celebrity cut a number of tracks and rearranged the performance. New tracks, such Fortnight and Down Bad, replaced fan favorites like The Archer and The One. The actress also made a number of fashion debuts, such as a sparkling red bodysuit for the show's opening segment and a black dress with silver tassels for the Fearless era. The 34-year-old sang 45 songs from her 18-year career during her more than 3 hours on stage, which ended just after 11 p.m. The pop star's tour has taken on a level of cultural significance not seen since the 1980s concerts of Madonna and Michael Jackson. She has 152 stadium dates scheduled till December this year. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.